Greetings everybody, this is Elias Planakos from Wireless Insider, and today I have with me the brand new recently released Samsung Galaxy Ace Q, the successor to the original Samsung Galaxy Ace, which came out about last year, mid-last year. I'm going to be going over with you the differences between this phone and the original Samsung Galaxy Ace. Hardware run-through, startup time, software run-through, browser test, YouTube test, camera, and in the end, a list of the small things you may or may not have known about this device that may make or break a decision to go out and buy it. Getting started, looking at the box, very simple, nice, small, and compact. Something that a lot of manufacturers are doing right now with a brief summary of the features of the device on the front. Opening it up, we are greeted with the phone itself, a nice plastic sleeve. We'll get to him in just one moment. Going deeper in here, we have stereo headphones with just the call and answer and end and voice activation dial button. So no volume controls, just call controls, that's fine. One of the newer design Samsung bricks, so you can distinguish this from other devices, because other high-end devices or the iPhone will be a brick. This is more of a horizontal, bigger brick. Micro USB data cable, because this phone does charge using micro USB, and a nice battery rated at 1300 milliamp hours. So there we have it. Let's get this to the side. And real quick, so you know the difference between this one and the previous generation Samsung Galaxy Ace. Boom, there should be a pop-up right here, and we're talking about this guy. This is last year's model, 2011. Essentially very similar processor, RAM's it's pretty much the same. Only difference is the camera quality is a little bit smaller on this guy over here, the one we're reviewing today, Samsung Galaxy Ace Q, and there is some difference in the physical hardware. So for example, taking a look at this guy in the front, we are greeted with a 3.5-inch display, rated at 320 by 480 pixels. On the left, we're greeted with a volume up, volume down button. The top, nothing, just a secondary microphone and 3.5mm headphone jack. On the right, we have the power and standby button. The bottom, micro USB charger port. The back, we have a 3.2 megapixel camera. Some say it's autofocus, some say it is not, so we'll determine that now. Speakerphone is there, and you open it from the top, which means if it opens from the top, it closes from the bottom. Remember that. SIM card slotter's over there. Micro SD expandable memory is here, and yeah, pretty simple layout. That's cool. Let's go ahead and put the battery in here and see how long it takes this guy to turn on. I'm going to do a quick test. See its turn on time and how it compares to other devices that I've reviewed. So let's go ahead and get my soon to be extinct BlackBerry. Hopefully that doesn't happen. 3, 2, 1, vibrated, and it's gone. So like we mentioned, it is a 3.5-inch display running 2.3 Android Gingerbread. It does have Samsung's TouchWiz running on top of it, so it doesn't look like stock Android because it's not. It does have a skin running on top of it, TouchWiz. It has 800 MHz single-core processor, 512 megabytes of RAM, and I've learned in the past that just because it's a single-core or underrated processor, it sometimes can surprise you, and I want to see exactly what it can do as it stands up against its mid-tier cousins. Do not be comparing this phone to higher-end devices like the Galaxy S3 or the iPhone 4S. That's not what it's intended to be compared to. Is it unlocked? Yeah. 33 seconds. Well, that's interesting. Well, that's consistent. Your devices should be faster. The original Samsung Galaxy Ace that I reviewed turned on in 36 seconds. This guy turned on in 33. That's pretty much good to go. Just running the media scanner. Yeah. It's pretty much set. So this is actually faster than the original. Cool. Let's get this guy to the side. And let's zoom in so you can see what I'm seeing. You'll notice right away the 4 capacitive touch buttons, which are not present under the older Galaxy Ace. It has a menu, home, back, and search, which this device actually has voice to search. You can choose Vlingo or voice search. And it'll search the internet or whatever you'd like, which is right away a difference I noticed. So let's go through the software real quick. I want to see how this guy scrolls from screen to screen. Very smooth. Get closer so you can see what I'm saying. Remember, this is a very entry-level device, entry to mid-level. I wouldn't really call it anywhere close to the upper end, but look at this. It's scrolling around just fine, no lag. Let's go ahead and hit menu several times, see how fast I can zoom in and out. Well, I don't know what you guys, that looks pretty good. All right. Yeah, as usual with TouchWiz and Sense UI and other devices, you can pinch the zoom. Whoops. Pinch the zoom, and you're greeted with multiple home screens. You can choose the one you want to go to or press home to get back to the middle one. At the bottom, you do have little bubbles indicating what home screen you're at, and when you scroll to the end, so at the end, we're on the last home screen, it will revert back to the first one, which is cool. Some devices don't do that. This one does. If we go ahead and get into the settings here, you can see the menu. This is where all your applications are located, which is very cool. If we go to, if we click and hold down, on the home screen, you will be able to change shortcuts. You can add things like, change your wallpaper, add widgets and everything from here. You can also add them while you're in the menu, but very smooth and easy to access right to where you want to go. So if you want to add a widget, click here, widgets, let's add a clock. You'll put it there, and you can exit out. To move it around, just move it around. Very good. Can't complain. Let's get them out of here. Click and drag to the bottom corner, and we're done with that. So now let's see how a live wallpaper performs on this. If I'm going screen to screen, it does not come preloaded with any live wallpapers, but it does have its functionality. So I accessed the marketplace. I did download one that I thought would be a good test here. Go to wallpapers, live wallpapers, and in this case, Nexus revamped. I just picked something reminiscent of the original Nexus wallpaper. Let's set it and see how this guy performs now. Keep in mind, this is a low-end device, low to medium range. Well, it's actually smooth. Look at this thing. Live wallpaper, at least 30 frames per second. Let's animate some particles and try again. Wow, that is awesome. Let's do that and zoom in and out of the menu. I totally hit something else. Okay, let's try that again. Whoop, out of focus. Very nice. Performs very well with live wallpapers. A little impressed there. All right, let's go back. Make this fair. Let's change it back. Wallpaper gallery and... Sure, let's do dandelions. I love little flowers. Okay, cool. So let's go on to the main feature of this device that makes it so different from the Samsung Galaxy Ace. Set the wallpaper, damn it. There we go. It's this keyboard. QWERTY keyboard with navigation up, down, left, and right buttons here, as well as OK to select. It's very nice. It's recessed, so it doesn't pop up at all. It's very flush with the hardware. Typing on this is pretty good. Let me go ahead and open up a memo file. And let's try typing click brown fox. Cool. The spacebar has two little sensors here, so there's 2 points of contact, so it's easy to space. It's not just one in the middle, so that's cool to see. Let's close this guy here, select again to focus, and try this keyboard. Yep. Not too bad. Fix, Fox, whatever. For a small screen keyboard, it's working pretty well. And of course here, this is up to preference, a very small screen. I don't know how well I'll do here. The quick... No, I'm not doing too well. So it depends how big your hands are. I prefer the keyboard, and that is the main selling point of this device. So let's get out of here, and let's go to the web browser and do a quick browser test. Let's see if I can find this guy here. Internet. Running on a Wi-Fi connection. Let's go to engadget.com. Already there, cool. Cool, this is the mobile version of the website. And it's done loading. Nice and smooth, as it should be. Can you pinch the zoom? Nope, so you can't pinch the zoom in mobile websites. Let's go to the bottom and view the full screen version of this. Great. Loading. While it's loading, let's scroll up and down, see how this guy looks, how it performs. Surprisingly smooth. There's some checkerboarding because it's not loaded yet, but it is surprisingly smooth. Still loading, indicated by the top green bar, top of the screen. But for an 800 megahertz single core processor, 512 megabytes of RAM, I expected less. This is actually pretty good. Let's go ahead and pinch the zoom while it's still loading. Nope, a little too far out. But just, oh, I think I totally clicked on something. Let's go back. Okay, so loading pretty well. Let's try in this mode. The second delay when rotating, that's fine. Very nice. It's checkerboarding, but it's waiting for it to load so I can do a proper test to see how this guy performs. Just, you know what? There. I think it was loading some ads on the side. Cool. Let's go back here. So, doesn't load as quickly as some other devices, but it is very navigatable, I guess. Let's go ahead and pinch the zoom to an image and text. Little stuttery when pinching the zoom, but it does it nonetheless. Text quality is pretty good, can't complain. This is on medium brightness. And doesn't checkerboard when zoomed in and scrolling on a completely loaded web page. Cool. Alright, so now that we're out of here, let's go to YouTube and see how video performs. Yeah. Cool, and as usual, I'll search for the 300 movie trailer. Let's see how loud the volume can go on this guy. Sure. I will rotate. So you guys can see that too. A little bright here, I'm sorry for the reflection, but this is an audio test. Video, of course, be good. So speakerphone's back here. It does have a little hump, if you can see that, where the speakerphone is. So if you put it on the surface of a table, it'll muffle it a bit, but not completely cover it. It is decent volume, considering this volume on the video itself is not that loud, but it is very good, and you can still hear it. Songs are very loud, ringtones are loud as well. Let's see how quickly it rotates. Nice. Cool. That's awesome, man. All right. Let's get out of here. Let's take a look at the camera. No physical camera button, as you notice. That's traditional or typical nowadays anyways with new devices. Let's go ahead and load the camera here. And let's see. Autofocus. Is there touch to zoom? Nope. Touching the screen, it shows you your options. Taking a picture. Very fast. Cool. All right. And to tell the difference, there are different modes on this guy. So if I tap here and we go to shooting mode, there's continuous, panorama, and smile shot. Let's do continuous. And pretty cool. Takes up to 9 shots in continuous mode. It's going to save them. Done. What else do we have here? Brightness adjustment. Okay, whatever. Settings. You can change resolution. There's something cool here too. You can change the camera sound. Let me get out of this mode. Back to single. Settings. And is it here somewhere? Yes, shutter. You can turn off the sound of the camera. You know, if you want to be sneaky, you can do that. So something you can't do on BlackBerries and some other phones, you can definitely do. Here, done. Now let's go into the picture album to see how those images look. Get out of here. Cool. And we'll rotate, and there's a cool animation. We tilt it from side to side. Let's click it, and there's all the images loaded. So these were the ones I took without the continuous shooting. Now there's no autofocus, so it won't be the clearest. Yep. So I guess there is a distance, about maybe like 10 inches or so. If you get any closer, it will be fuzzy. Considering high-end devices like the BlackBerry Bold and some other ones do not have autofocus, you know, for an entry-level device or entry to mid-level device, this isn't too bad. But again, no autofocus. This was part of the continuous shooting, and since the phone was moving, it's a little fuzzy. But you know, that is it. Let's get back to one of these guys. Cool. Pinch to zoom is okay. Can't complain. See how quickly it rotates. Great. And what I like is how responsive it is when deleting pictures. So to delete all these pictures I just took, click and hold down on one of them, little check marks show up, really quickly select all of them, no delay here, which is great. Delete. And done. Oh, I forgot one. Goodbye, my friend. Goodbye. There you go. All right, now it's time for the small things you may or may not have known about this device, things that may make or break your decision to go out and buy it. Well, the first thing is the camera is, keep in mind, not autofocus. It does not have a flash. It's 3.2 megapixels, and the videos are not high res. But if you want it for occasional photo shooting or just taking a picture of friends, that's fine. But if you go to a concert or bar or somewhere dark, don't expect the best picture quality here. It's very similar to the original Samsung Galaxy Ace that launched back in 2011, with the exception of more capacitive touch buttons and a physical keyboard. And on the keyboard, note, it is very nice and very well, I guess, laid out. Very slim, doesn't interfere with the sliding mechanism of the phone at all, and when it does slide, it responds in just under a second, which isn't too bad for an entry-level device. Easy to type, and I did like to see the spacebar and how it had 2 points of contact, so no matter where you're typing from, you'll always be able to hit it. Now, the touch buttons here are different. They are close together, but they're not too close to the edge of the hardware, so you don't trigger them by accident when you're holding the device, something I really do appreciate. Unlike the Samsung Galaxy Ace, the initial one, it only had 2 buttons back, and I believe search and a middle home button. Here you have the traditional 4-button layout. Also, despite what some websites are saying, there is significant internal storage here. Of course, you may want to make use of micro SD expandable memory to make full use of multimedia on this device, but it does have 890, about 1 gigabyte of internal memory for applications and 2 gigabytes for storage. So some websites are saying like 500 or 155 megabytes. That's not the case. You do have enough storage here to make use of it on the device itself, but it's always recommended to use a memory card, because that way you can actually save your stuff to a chip, and if something happens to the hardware, it'll always be safe. Considering it's an entry-level device, it does perform pretty good, even with live wallpapers. I was impressed. I never really go into these things expecting the best from something with 800 megahertz single-core processor or 512 megabytes of RAM, but this guy comes and delivers. The Q really knows what it's doing, and they optimized it very well. Very clean layout, no shenanigans. Settings are very simple to see with that cool black background we're all used to from Android, and TouchWiz does a good job of getting around to your home screens and being able to add shortcuts and widgets. So yeah, it's good to see entry-level device or not. It performs very well, and anything that can can handle live wallpaper, especially a third-party one from the marketplace, while scrolling from screen to screen and opening up menus, it's got a winner in my book. So don't expect to compare this to the Galaxy S3 or the iPhone 4S or any other device coming out there. This device has its own footprint and is a good successor to the original Samsung Galaxy Ace. And on that note, that finishes this review. Again, this is Elias Planakos from Wireless Insider. If you have any comments or questions, please leave it in the comments section below. And if you like what you saw here today, don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, take care.